TalkingForNobodyPodcast. I am Brandon, commonly known as Toxic Green TV.
And I'm Dominic, sometimes known as DJ.
And I just realized that I made the intro sound really depressing, which is ironic.
Mm-hmm.
So the topic of discussion today is going to be our thoughts about death.
That's the ironic part, right?
Yeah.
Haha, I got the joke now, dude.
So I don't really know where to start with this conversation. I almost said conversation.
With this conservation. Well, let's go kill someone, and then we can find out.
We'll talk about it.
Some thoughts about exactly. Like this is just our confession.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be at the top of this podcast, but I do want to say this is going to be a trigger warning for some people.
Yeah.
So if you are not ready for that type of commitment, I highly suggest that you watch another episode of the podcast or just go watch one of our videos.
Like, just go watch all of them. Like, all of the podcasts. Again. Like, over and over again. Yeah. And then when this episode happens, just put it on mute. And then go back and restart. What we're trying to say is, if you're sensitive to the conversation of death and stuff, you might not want to listen to this one.
However, if you need advice about death, I think that will come up.
What the fuck does that mean?
Like, we'll get there.
Get a rope.
Not about killing yourself, about like coping with death.
Oh, okay. I was like, dumbass. What the fuck? Okay,
okay, so where do you want to start this conversation off? Because I don't really know.
Okay, I think a good conversation, like a part of this could have is, I don't know when this is coming out, but as of the recording, a few weeks ago, my aunt passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a start to death. I think I'm fine now.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it was surreal. Because, like, there's different ways to respond to different kinds of, like, death, I guess. Like,
yeah. I believe that death, whenever you get the call that someone has died, you never expect it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always going to be like a surreal feeling at first.
Yeah, but then it's like it progresses in terms of like how you react to it later.
That's usually when the stages of grief come in. I sound like a therapist.
Yes.
But that's usually when grief comes in, and then just with time you get better. And you can't necessarily like pinpoint a certain a certain like frame of time because everyone's different, and it also for me depends on who is the one who passed away.
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna have different. I think everybody has a different way of doing this, but like, I don't know what. Just I am sort of. This is gonna sound like I am heartless, but in terms of like when reacting to deaths. At least in my experience, like thankfully, like my mom and my grandma are still alive. They are like the people. They are like the people that raised me, so I haven't had to deal with that. But like I guess I can be like cold blooded almost when it happens. Like when I learned about my aunt dying, right? I was more like shocked that it happened, but I haven't like cried about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and then after, like, a few weeks, I was like, okay. Like, I went to the service. I should be crying now, right?
Yeah.
But there are other circumstances there that, like, probably ruined that. But that I'm not going to get into that stuff. Because that...
And in my experience with death, I've only ever witnessed two people, I believe, and they were both my grandmothers. The first one died in 2010. I would have been 7.
Mm-hmm.
when that happened, and so I didn't really get what death was at that point, so it didn't really affect me.
Yeah.
But then my most recent death encounter was a few months ago with my other grandma. She, I don't know if I should get into the details, but she died due to complications with dementia.
Oh. Yeah.
So
You were like, see, like, but the way you react to that death is different to like if like your uncle passed away, like an uncle that you like kind of know.
yeah, and I won't be the first to. Well, I guess I would be because I'm talking about myself. I will be the first to admit that I bawled my fucking eyes out.
As is normal, it is normal to do that. You know, when people die.
And I am not a crier usually.
He cries all the time, constantly.
Like I
Every
can
time
cry
he
on
watches
cue,
Toy Story 3.
but shut the hell up. This is not the time to be funny.
I freaking fine. I'm sorry.
But like when I got the news, I was coming downstairs from probably a nap, and then my mom was crying, my aunt was crying, my dad was crying, and I was like, oh shit, I know what happened. And then it got told to me, and I was like, fuck. And then like the walls came down, and I was just a train wreck.
Yeah, that's how I knew it was super bad. Was that you would not talk to me?
You see, the thing is, as I was getting the news, you called me, and I flipped the fuck out
Yeah,
on you.
you
and
were
I'm sorry.
super fucking terrifying. Like, I called you and you screamed at the phone. I'm just like, okay, man, I'll talk to you later. Like,
I'm sorry about that, but
no, it's fine, it's fine. I not knowing now, it's like, okay, but like then I was like, what did I do? I thought he loves me.
Yeah, but so my grandma and I were close, and we always used to like talk about Red Dead Redemption and stuff because she loved playing video games.
Dude, that's a sick grandma.
Yeah, she was lit.
She was lit, fam. Homie G grandma walking in the house. Sorry, continue.
So when she died, it was really hard. I then when the funeral came, and I just seen her in the thing.
In the casket.
I didn't want to say casket, but yeah, casket. It was really hard for me, but at that point, I'm the type of person who does not cry in public places as hard as I want to.
Yeah.
So I'm just like standing there, and I'm like, fuck. And like, then I spoke at her funeral and had this like speech about her, and yeah.
I haven't had to do that before. I haven't had to do a speech
about
it.
Well, I offered to do it because, you know, I was one of her grandsons, and it was,
you just had to.
Yeah. Because during her time alive, like right before she passed away, probably like a year or so before, she started getting really bad. She couldn't remember anything. She started talking to TVs because like she thought what was happening was real.
Mm-hmm.
So then like it got to the point where I knew what was going to happen, and I did not want to remember her like that. So I just never seen her.
Yeah.
So then when she was in the hospital on her last few days, she was unresponsive, and my entire family was like pressuring me to go because this might be the last time I seen her. Mm-hmm. And so I did, and I held her hand, started talking to her, and then like when this is the crazy shit. Then I tried to let go, but like she wouldn't let go of my hand.
Like she knew who you were.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
That's damn.
And then my uncle gave this like really heartfelt like monologue to her about how like my aunt, who's like the oldest of her kids, could take on the rest of the family and like would be fine and all that shit. That was when I like a tear rolled down my face, but I was not crying. My face was leaking, but
my eyeballs were sweating.
yeah. So then I went home, and then like the next few days, that's when we got the news, and then that happened, and yeah. But in other news, as far as death goes, with death always comes grief.
Yes.
And we hinted lightly on that. And so for me, getting over my grandma was maybe a month or two. But for a lot of people, it takes years.
Yeah.
So don't, if you are somebody or if you know somebody that is dealing with grief due to a loved one passing or anything in their life, I just like don't rush them to get over it, because that's just going to make things worse.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, yeah, okay, I get what you mean by that.
Yeah, because like pressuring somebody is just not the way to go.
Exactly. Damn.
So then
I didn't realize how depressing this conversation was going to be until we started having it. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, I knew before we pressed the record button. I was like, this shit is about to get sad.
It's the sad boy hour. Okay.
But do you have anything to say? Because I feel like I've been talking for a long time.
No, man, that's fine, dude. That's fine. I had a similar kind of thing. Well, hold on. Because like it's like the same story-ish. Let's kind of go back to what you were saying before. The first grandma, when you were 7, is that the first time you experienced, that you can remember, experienced death?
I think,
like in a way that you understood it.
That's a hard question to answer because it's been so long ago. But from what I understood, like there was this guy in my family. I think he was like my dad's brother, half brother.
You mean uncle?
And he died when I was like 5, maybe 4. And at that point, I really didn't know what it was. So
yeah, exactly.
That was around like Thanksgiving and Christmas time.
Like my
so like my aunt, who I mentioned earlier, stayed with me and my sister because we were still like little kids. We didn't really know what the fuck was going on. And my mom and dad went to the funeral, and I was like, where the fuck are they going? And then
just like what do you think you're doing?
And then during that time, like that was like one of the best memories that I have with my aunt. We just like made like Christmas decorations and shit.
Oh.
And like I was never told what happened, but then when I did, like years later, I was like, oh, okay, I understand now. Okay. But I was never really close with that guy. Like I like vaguely remember him.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing his face. I don't remember any conversations or what we did.
Yeah, like you just know he existed.
Yeah. So I know he was an alcoholic, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah. I'm not asking you to.
So, but to answer your question, I experienced death earlier in life, but that was the first time that I kind of knew what it was.
When you were 5?
Was with my grandma.
Oh, okay.
Was with my grandma.
Okay. Okay. Well, how did you react to that? Because I had a similar thing when I was, I think like, because the only deaths I can really like remember happened. Well, I say remember, but have been told that happened that would affect me is my grandma's husband, grandfather, ex-husband thing. When I was like 2 or 3, and then Like, I guess we were just really lucky for like years afterwards. Until I was like, God, I want to say like 10 or 11. When my other grandma passed away. My God, that family tree is so weird. My dad's mom won. Because he has like 2-ish moms. It's a long story. And I don't even know all the details. It's just really complicated family tree. Either way, that's the grandma. It's the second grandma. And I'm like, I was always way closer with my mom's mom. But this other one, I had kind of just started meeting her. Like not meeting, like I like for years I didn't know she existed because she lived like hours away and like I didn't see my dad all that often. And like I guess he took me up to where she lived and where his sister lived for like, I don't know, like a week or two. And then I met her there. And then the sister and her came down to where I used to live. My mom lives now. I'm trying not to say names of places.
Well, you can. I mean, places don't really matter.
Yeah, but still. So then that's when like I kind of knew her-ish more, kinda. But like not really. But like it was still like that's the first time I really was like, oh shit, someone just died. And that's when I was like 10 or 11. So you were saying your grandma when you were like 7? So how did you deal with that? Because I remember getting the news and then everything else is a blur up until the funeral.
So that story goes, my dad was at work. It was his mom, in case I didn't get to that part.
Okay, it was his mom. You didn't say that part, but okay.
And she was always like really sick. She was always in the hospital. I don't remember exactly what like she died of, but
of ill.
Probably that's the best way to say it because I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
So my mom got a call from the hospital that she was at, and that's when the news broke down. And I just heard my mom yell, "Oh my God!"
Like that.
And then, kind of, yeah. At least that's in my memory.
I don't know. The way you said that,
And
I almost thought it was comedic, and then I was like, no, he's probably being serious. Just the way you were like, oh my God! But continue.
And then I was like playing in the front room doing some shit. I don't even remember. Probably fucking drawing on the walls.
Burning down the house. You know how kids do.
So then I walk into the dining room. I think it was the dining room. And then I just see my sister and my mom crying. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? I didn't say that, but...
You were like, did they find out that I have the mattress?
Bad timing, but it was really appreciated.
So, hey man, I'm trying to lighten the mood as best I can, okay?
But then, God, this was like fucking 10 years ago. I'm really grinding into my memory here.
Yeah, grind those gears.
And then after I walked in, I seen my mom and sister crying, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Again, didn't say that, but I was like, what? And then I forget exactly how she worded it. I think she said, I think my sister was like freaking out and she said grandma died. And me being little, I didn't really comprehend what happened. Because like I knew generally what death was, but like I don't know. It's weird.
You had not experienced firsthand what it does.
Yeah. And then later that day, I don't remember how long it was, but my dad came home from work and he was a wreck. He like was bawling his eyes out.
Did he know
And,
before he got home?
yeah, the hospital called him while I was at work.
Okay.
I think my mom might have called him. I don't remember.
So he was told beforehand.
Yeah. So.
Because like that would have been like a horrible like, honey, I'm home. Oh shit, that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then, if I remember correctly, during this time I still have not cried, and
yeah, because
I didn't.
You didn't
fully know
comprehend.
what was
Yeah,
going on.
exactly. You didn't comprehend it.
And then, because like growing up, I was never like taught exactly what death was and like what it meant and like what happens and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So then, when my dad got home, he was just sitting at the table smoking a cigarette while crying, and like. I think that's kind of when I understood that whatever happened was bad.
What was it like? You saw him. He was like, "Let me smoke in the house."
Because no, because like
his face.
My dad is not a crier.
Yeah.
Like it takes a hell of a lot for him to cry.
Yeah. You kick him in the dick, he just stands there like a statue. He just takes it like a man.
Yeah.
He's like, what are testicles?
So then later that day, I'm kind of paraphrasing now because I don't entirely remember, but I remember my cousins. I think they were cousins.
Your cousins.
Like they were my grandma's kids.
Yeah, those are cousins.
Or second cousins. I don't fucking know.
Grandma's kids being uncles and aunts kids being cousins.
Yeah, but I don't remember them being in the family tree at all. I think we just knew them.
Okay. There's just random strangers.
They lived with my grandma. Well, one of them lived with my grandma at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So then I guess like in her will, she said she wanted to give certain things away.
Yeah.
And so they came in with the stuff, and then I got a black Bible, and my sister got a white one, I think. And then I think my dad got something too. I forget what it was.
A green Bible. Just all the colors. Sorry.
And then I still didn't know what the hell was going on completely.
Mm-hmm.
But then my dad was sitting on the couch, and like I figured this could be a good father-son moment. Yeah. So I went over to the couch and gave him a big long hug.
Aww.
And he like started bawling in my arms, and it was fucking crazy. But
damn, that stop, man! I'm about to shed a tear right now, dude. It's beautiful.
And then that's all I remember until the funeral, which I wasn't allowed to go to because I was apparently too young.
I mean, you were like 7 years old.
Yeah, but it was my grandma.
Still, you were like 7 years. Like I can see why you weren't. I don't know. That's definitely like placed upon like the parents, but like I can see both sides of the coin.
Yeah, but anyway, then they went to the funeral. I don't remember what I was doing at that point while they were there.
Burning down the house.
Shut the hell up! No, I was probably at this point I was probably playing the Super Nintendo. Because I just hit the damn mic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude.
But then they got back, and it was never really talked about again until like years later. And Yeah.
Damn, man. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Now we're here. I might as well.
And reminder, during this time, I like never cried. And like to this day, my sister still gives me shit for not crying when my grandma died.
That's how I feel about my aunt that just died. It's because I feel bad that I haven't cried. Like, I don't know. I don't
necessarily feel bad about not crying because like everyone has their ways of dealing with shit.
Yeah.
But
I feel
I can tell a fucking insane story, but I'm gonna let you say what you're gonna say.
Cool. Since we're talking about dead grannies over here, I might as well do my whole story considering you were doing yours. So a few days before it happened, I went to her hospital, and I remember I weirdly remember the hospital. Like, it was, like, weird. I don't know if it was a hospital or a hospice, but it was, like, it looked nice. Like, I walked in, and it was, like, this, like, it felt like a big place.
I, to this day, don't know what the difference between hospice and hospital are.
Hospice are more like they are destined to, like, very soon, you know, get a game over.
That's fucked up, but okay.
It's not fucked up, man. That's just what it is. Okay? They ran out of lives. So unless you believe in reincarnation, then I don't fucking know how to deal with you. I remember going in, and I kind of remember her, like, the room was, like, dim. Like, the only light in the room was, like, the window. And I remember, like, seeing her, and, like, I was, like, sad, but I think, like, even, like, I was kind of, like, in denial almost, like, she can get out of this. Like, come on, bro. But she couldn't. Looking back, it's like, no, she couldn't. So then we went home, and it was, like, ridiculously bad. Like, my uncle came down and, like, stayed with us. I don't remember that, but I remember, this is how I know he stayed with us. It's because of the night I knew that she died. I was sleeping, and then I guess I just woke up in the middle of the night. And I, like, went to the restroom and saw him, like, getting dressed and shit. I'm like, what up? You know, like, what's going on, man? And it was like in the middle of the night. And he was like, hey, kiddo, I gotta go real quick. I gotta go get something. And I don't know why, but as soon as he was like, I gotta go get something, like, he never mentioned Thelma, which is her name, Grandma Thelma. He never mentioned her name or anything. But he was totally like, hey, I gotta go real quick. And, like, I guess my like 11-year-old heart just sank. Because it was like, oh, fuck. Like, it happened. And I guess my mom was also kind of awake. And she was like, hey, what's up? And then I'm like, and I looked at her, I was like, I think she's gone. I think she also kind of knew. And my mom's like a big marshmallow, so immediately she started crying. And then I was like, oh shit, I might as well console with my mom, I guess. So then I don't know, I gave her a big old hug like you did with your pop. And then, like, I guess I started crying. Maybe. I don't know. It was also really late. I can't quite remember. The details are a bit fuzzy. But I remember that. And then a few days later, we went to the service. Like, that, it just jumps like that. Like, in my head, it just jumps. Like, we're like, it's like, you know, nighttime, we're hugging, and then all of a sudden, boom, it jumps into, like, a few days into the future in my brain.
Yeah.
And we went to the service, and, like, I think then I cried, maybe, but, like, I wasn't super close with her, but it was probably, like, because it was the first time I really I really saw death. it was like, oh, fuck, it happened, you know? So I went to... Oh, no, before that, there was the wake. That's when I started really crying. Was the wake. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's like a open casket that people can go up and talk to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know they called it that.
Yeah, it's called like a wake or something. It's something like that. So I went there, me and my mom did. And then, I'm trying to think of what else happened. I saw my dad there, which was at, like, a time where it was like, this isn't the time to do this. To see you person. That's a whole other story. And that could be a whole other podcast, but you know what, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if I want to deal with that, but we'll continue. So, I remember that, and then I remember my mom disappearing. I assumed to go talk to him, because looking back on it, I'm immediately like, my cousins distracted me. Like, they were playing with me, but they really were just distracting me from something, because my mom, like, disappeared. So I was like, oh shit, that's not good. Now I'm looking at it, I was like, oh god, what the hell was he doing? And then it jumps again in my head to the funeral, where we went, and I saw my cousins and the family and stuff like that. It was a sad day. Yeah, I know I'm not giving too many details, just because it is really, like, fuzzy in my head. I, like, remember, like, if people were taking pictures, my head remembers the photographs. But, like, I don't remember, like, full clips of stuff.
Might be inappropriate, but I immediately thought of Nickelback's Photograph.
Look at this photograph. No, I mean, maybe, but I don't know, man. I'm trying to lighten the mood a little bit, dude. But yeah. So I think it was more like I cried because it was the first time I dealt with that. And then, not to jump ahead again, but someone recently also died. I didn't know her that much, but my mom did. And I guess this is, like, more like talking about reacting to how someone else deals with death. Because, like, I didn't know this person. This great aunt. So, it was, like, 2 weeks before I moved out.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I remember the story.
Yeah, of my house. Because you were there, dude. And my mom got a call that her aunt died. And I guess, like, an aunt that she's really close with, she would talk to her all the time on the phone, because all of my mom and grandma's family live up north in, like, Maine and Massachusetts. Massachusetts. However you say that freaking word.
Massachusetts.
Yeah. Thank you. The M1. So, like, I mentioned she's like a giant marshmallow when it comes to this stuff. So she cried, and then actually what was funny was I was, like, recording a video or something, and then all of a sudden I just hear her, like, screaming out in pain. I'm like I thought she, like, fell or something. So I immediately, like, rushed, and then I was like, and I saw her crying. I'm like, what happened? And then she, like, immediately hugged me, and I was like, oh fuck, because, like, I guess she also kind of knew leading up to it that she was getting sick and stuff. So now it turned into an ordeal for my mom, and that's something that I'm still nervous about, because it has been, like, months, like half a year maybe, but I'm still worried about it, like how it affected her, like how it, like, would have, like, if that did not break her, then that was very close to breaking her. Was my aunt.
What do you mean by breaking?
Well, like, let me get to it in a few seconds. Like, it was, like, a huge combination of stuff. Like, her mind, I'm surprised it didn't, like, break and shatter into pieces. Because her aunt just died, so she had to leave and go up north. While I simultaneously was leaving her house to move to Orlando, where I live now, where I reside. So like, and like I would say me and my mom are very close. Like it's only me and her. Like I'm an only child and there's no other person in the picture. So it's just me and...
That's what you think.
Whatever, Dad.
Oh, I'm your brother.
Oh, you're my brother. Okay. I was like, are we joking again? What the fuck? But like, it's just us, really. So, like, while she's gone, I'm packing away, and then she met us, which is me and someone else who was driving the truck, at my apartment that I'm living at now. And I was like...
So what's the address?
I'm not going to tell you, Thomas.
Damn it.
At least not on here. It's a strip club. I live in a strip club now. No.
No, you just live in the entire city of Orlando.
Exactly. I just go room to room.
No, you are Orlando.
I am Orlando. Is that a fat joke?
Yes.
Dick.
Anyway.
It's like that one episode of Family Guy with Peter Griffin who like loses all of his bones. It's like that, but it's all over Orlando. I'm just a giant jelly monstrosity. People are running over me as we speak. So watching that was difficult because I didn't know her enough to really like I didn't know her. Like I think the last time I would have seen the aunt was like when I was like I was too young to remember her, you know. But like seeing my mom just like freak out about it, it was like horrible to watch. Like it sucked to watch. And then like as soon as my roommate person came up with me to, you know, move into this place. And that's a whole other fucking story. The point is, so my mom left for the funeral. Then she came back to Orlando and helped me unpack stuff. Then it was when she left Orlando. Because I knew it was going to be the last time she was with me as, like, I lived in her house, you know?
At least until you're done with college.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, she was about to leave the apartment. And then, like, I just immediately... This is kind of on the same... This is kind of not on the subject of death, but this is kind of as well. Like, I broke down. Because I realized, oh, fuck. It's been me and my mom this entire time. My mom just went through probably the worst week of her entire life. And now I'm 3 hours away from her. And I just broke down, being like, I don't know if she is okay. Because like it's the mom, so she'll be like, I'm fine. But, like, I'm still not entirely sure she's okay. Like, now I'm, like, pretty sure she's fine now. But, like, then I was like, oh my god, she must be, like, destroyed right now. Fuck, man, I'm about to cry to it. Like, right now. It's actually sad. But, yeah. So, watching someone else deal with that stuff. And I get that that's also dealing with me leaving. It sucks.
So I want to talk about...
Yeah, we can change the subject, man. We can change the subject.
We were kind of talking a little bit about it, but how would we react when a loved one dies?
Yeah, but that's... Okay.
So... You kind of hinted at it. I kind of hinted at it. I kind of want to go broader scale and more like where.
Yes.
How does it differ, like from, like say like your mom dying or your cousin? Or
yeah, like how the different levels of it. Okay, so there's like people you're close with, people you're kind of close with, and there's people you're not close with. People you're not close with, I think a majority of people don't really cry for it. Like, they're sad. They're like, oh, shit, you know. that sucks. But, like, not to the extent of, like, oh, fuck!
Mm-hmm.
Then there's, like, the medium, which
I'm
is...
sorry, but I just think of you getting news that someone died in your family, and you're just like, oh, shit!
Absolutely. It happens all the time. No, I'm kidding. I hope not. That's horrible. No.
Man, when I die, you're probably just be like, thank fucking God.
We can talk about that in a little bit. There's the medium death, which is, like you, it's like
Your heart stops. There is no longer blood going to the brain.
Jesus Christ, dude. Okay.
I mean, isn't that the actual definition?
Of what?
Death?
Yeah, but, like, that was not what I was about to talk about. You just, like, brought it in. I'm like, oh, shit, okay. Like, I'm still talking about reacting to people. I was like, damn, how do you react to people?
Oh, I thought you said definition of death.
No, like the middle death, like your aunts and your uncles that you maybe knew, you know? Like, maybe they were at Christmases. Or, like...
Now, the problem with this one is I am very close to all of my aunts and uncles except for, like, one of them.
Okay, but, like... But I would still categorize them in, like, the middle. Because...
Some of them, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, then, I think, like, the middle is one, like, you do cry. Because it does suck. Because death does suck. Especially if, like... even if you see them, like, once a year. Maybe 3... Even if you see them 4 times a year. Okay? Birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and... Easter. I don't fucking know. Easter. Actually, this is an example of my great aunt. That passed away.
Mm-hmm.
You cry, but it's so... I'm not gonna say it's easy to get over, because, like, that does differ with each person. But I would think it's, like, easier to get over that. Like, you would be really sad for maybe, like... you would be probably super crying for a day or 2 or 3 days. And then, like, you just kind of have to slowly start picking up pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the level 1 death. The mother, father, brother, sister, daughter, son.
Mm-hmm.
Or however your daughter or son want to be called. It's 2019, man. It's fucking crazy.
Well, 2020, but yeah.
Oh yeah, 2020, but 2019, 2020, same diff. It's the same thing.
It's a different decade.
Oh, shut up right now, young man. I am going to jab a pencil in your eyeball right now.
I hope you do. I fucking hope you do. And when you say pencil, I hope you mean dick.
I'm gonna shove my dick in your eyeball. That's probably even worse. Like,
don't sex shame me.
I'm gonna kink shame you, dude.
Anyway,
this is a comedy podcast. Back to death.
So the thing is with the aunt that I was talking about, that's like the oldest of the family.
Okay.
She's like a second mom to me.
So she's like a level 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I literally can't imagine if like my mom or her or my dad died.
Yeah. Like without like being like, oh my God.
Like I literally can't imagine life without them right now.
Yes.
Like it's fucking crazy.
I get that way with like my mom and my grandma.
And what sucks is it's like bound to happen eventually.
I mean, yeah, everybody dies.
I mean,
unless you're Ra's al Ghul, in which case you die and then you live and then you die again, and then do that for like thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, shitty joke. Continue.
So if I'm being realistic, if any of those people that I just mentioned died,
Mm-hmm.
knowing how I reacted to my grandma, I would fucking die. Unironically.
I'm sorry. Just,
Like,
I don't mean to laugh at that, but just the idea of, like, someone dies and they're like, it's my turn.
so, like, I would probably still have to go to therapy.
Still?
I would definitely be hiding in my bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I would probably
Cry a lot.
I was trying to think of a clever way to say it.
Depression the shit out of this.
My eyes would
Sweat.
constantly look like I smoked 5 blunts.
At once.
Back to back.
Oh. Just all at once. That's what I was thinking. But yeah.
So, I mean, even thinking about it sucks.
Yeah. I'll be sitting in a class and I'm, like, really bored. And then, like, all of a sudden, I just start thinking about my grandma. And, like, all of a sudden, I start thinking, like, I immediately, like, just, like, even in class, my heart sinks a bit at the thought of it.
Man, that reminds me of a time. I was in class, and for some reason, like, just, like, the thought of death and, like, how it would feel to die and, like, what you see, like, that, like, scared the shit out of me one day while I was in class. And then, like, I, like, forced myself to, like, stop thinking about it because, like, my heart dropped and I was like, fuck.
Dude, I get that way all the time. In terms of, like, thinking about what happens when you die. I think about that shit all the time.
So, it's fucking scary, man.
It is scary. Like, no matter what people believe, like, the thought of just, like, you die and then that's the end is terrifying. Like, there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the thought of total
Again,
nothingness.
depending on if you...
Yeah, but just, like...
Depending on if you believe...
Yeah, but like, just the thought of it. Like...
Yeah.
Of pure nothing.
You know what also scares me is when you walk up to a casket with one of your loved ones or friends in it. Like, when they're just laying there, because of all the video games I've played, I always expect, like, a jump scare.
That's fucked up.
No, like, it's, like, a legit, like thought in the back of my head. Like, what if this motherfucker just, like, reaches his hand out to me and, like, grabs my throat?
Like, Batman Arkham Asylum Scarecrow cutscene.
Yeah.
Like, he just sits up. Just, like, stares at you, like, right in the face.
Yeah, man. It scares the shit out of me.
Oh, I assume so, man. I mean, when like, a friend of mine dies, I would not suspect that I'm thinking about that. But, you know.
I mean, I don't want to think about it. It's just, like...
just happens, man.
It happens.
Yeah. You know. Like every other funeral I go to, they fucking pop up. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
But...
I know this is...
We already talked about if, like, a loved one or a family member dies.
Well, hold on. Before we get into this, this is kind of unrelated, but that just reminded me of, like, a joke that I heard. It's, like, the idea of, like, if you can time travel. Like, I would time travel to the day my funeral happens, and then I pop into, and then just, like, I walk in and be like, sorry, I'm late, and then jump to the casket. My mom is just like, what the fuck?
That's so fucked up.
You know what's really fucked up is that a part of me thought of the real joke of that story, which is I go to the casket and only, like, 2 people are there. It's like, what the fuck? My life was for nothing.
Okay.
Sorry.
But
I had to lighten the mood, man. Okay, this is depressing. This entire episode is really depressing.
we talked about if a loved one or family member dies.
Yes.
So let's talk about what we would do if one of us died.
Yes. It would be awesome. No kidding. It would be.
Man, fuck you.
It would be pretty soul crushing. Like, because there's so many other factors you have to think about. Like, we live in different states, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you live in, I don't know, do you want to start Ohio?
I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I know you don't care. That's why I said it. Like, you live in Ohio. I live in the fucking penis of America that is Florida. Seriously, it just looks like it's just dangling there.
Yeah.
So, like, there's so many other things. Like, we wouldn't know for sure that one of us
Unless you
died.
looked up my obituary window.
Yeah, unless we, like, look it up. But, like, we wouldn't know for, like, days on end if we don't, like, start looking up stuff. Because, like...
Yeah, you'd be trying to get a hold of me like, motherfucker, we have to record a podcast!
I would be, too. Like, that'd be the number one priority. And then, like, after a while, I'd be like, oh my god, I might be a total asshole right now.
And then you'd have to find a new guest. Or a host.
I'll have to find a new host. Nah, dude, it would end, man. I couldn't do this without my boy.
No. That is my fucking dying wish. Is if I die, you need to continue this podcast.
Just by myself. Just like,
hello.
I'd make some epic changes. It'd be all me all the time. 24/7.
It's just your face instead of the microphone on the logo.
Like, instead of, like, the cross out thing, like, it's just my face. But, like, no.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the cross out, it's like the symbol, like the cancel symbol, but, like, it's not red, it's just my face, so it's all cut up and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, continue.
So...
Also, that is a waste of a dying wish.
I mean...
Like, I want you to record a podcast for me. Like, get my memory. She's like, what the fuck?
And I would also give you my YouTube account.
Oh, yeah, dude. Exactly.
And you can do whatever the hell you want with it. You can sell it if you want.
Don't we have each other's YouTube stuff? I think.
I don't even know.
I don't know, man. Either way, though.
But...
Isn't your password? No, I'm kidding.
In the case that you died... Whether it be this year, next year, 20 years from now. Assuming that we're still friends.
I was going to say, like, you're expecting me to die this year or next year?
I mean,
like
if I have anything to say about it.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I'm kidding.
Man, if someone actually threatens me anonymously, like, you just totally incriminated yourself.
So, I honestly don't know what I would do. Like... My heart would drop.
Damn.
And then I'd cry.
You'd have to find a new lover.
I know. And it's hard to find those.
Yeah, man. I mean, we ugly as fuck.
Yeah, man. So...
We are not homosexual males. So, men, we are not on the market.
I feel like the grief part would probably take a long time to get over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think it also depends on how you died.
Like, what if I died in a funny way? Like I tried to fit in a clown car, but I couldn't, and I got squished.
Like, you try to kill yourself, but the branch breaks, and then you land on your head.
Man, I don't know if that's funny, but that's really sad. Because, like, people wouldn't know that that's how I died. They just think that I would have, hung myself. But then, later on, the branch just broke. You know?
Okay. So, but most of all, if you died, I would probably just be scared that you're going to haunt me for all the stupid shit I said.
I mean, I would.
While you were alive.
I totally would.
You'd probably fucking suck my dick as a spirit.
What? Like, what do I say in response to that? Like, I don't know. Fucking, if I'm a spirit, then, I don't know. No, you know what? You know what? Probably the first thing I do is as a spirit is I'd fly over to your like in regards to like you. I would fly over just to see how tall you are, like next to me, just to be like, "Am I taller than this son of a bitch?"
We can answer that question right now. How tall are you?
I don't know, like 5'10" ish.
I think we're about the same height.
Damn. Oh, you know what I'd
'Cause,
really
like-
do is I'd like in regards to you is I'd go over and see how big that dick is. I'm kidding. Cut.
So, yeah, because I'm like 5'10", 5'11".
That's how
Somewhere
short your
around
dick
there.
is?
No.
I'm sorry, it was too easy.
But, yeah.
Back to death.
Like, I would be a fucking train wreck if you died. Like, legit, because, like, I love you, man.
I love you too, man. I mean, yeah, truthfully, I'd be super, like it would hurt, man.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like, and I don't mean this in any, like, I'm making a joke way. It would be like finding out, like, a lover has died.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would hurt, man. And I don't mean that in the sense of, like, hey, I'm making a joke, like, we're gay, haha. Like, no. Like, it would fucking crush me.
Mm-hmm. How do you think I would die?
I don't know. You'd do something stupid. Like, are you being legit or in, like, a joke way? Because I have two answers.
Like, legit.
I don't know. Hopefully, like, old age. That's what I hope.
I always thought it would be a heart attack.
Like, for you?
Yeah. Because I'm fat.
I was going to say heart attack at, like, what, 75 or, like, 35?
I was thinking more like 45.
Oh, I was thinking more like next year.
After this podcast.
Right after you upload this podcast, and then it's like, publish. Oh! But, yeah, man, it would suck, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to say about it.
Yeah, what do
it fucking suck.
Yeah, man. What about you, man? How do you think I would die?
Bike accident.
That's how you think I'm going to die? Like, for real?
No, I don't actually know. Like, I don't really know your life outside of what we talk about. So, like, I don't know what you do.
Male prostitute.
You die of AIDS. Honestly, that's probably a legit answer.
Yeah, that's probably like an actual answer. I'm not a male prostitute, but all those male prostitutes out there, Brandon, he believes you're going to die of AIDS.
No, that's not why I said that. I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
you do some fucking weird shit.
you just think I'm going to die of AIDS.
Yeah.
Jesus. I if I get AIDS now, just so you know, like, I will blame you.
You can't blame me for you doing stupid shit.
You just jinxed it!
Jinx isn't real.
Fucking... whatever. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Like, you just fucking
But
put that shit on my soul.
if... Okay, I want to plan this out right now. If and when you die, do you want me to do a video on your channel
Yes.
saying that you died?
Yep.
Okay. Same goes here.
Yeah.
And I prefer it to be funny.
They'd be like, hey gamers, how you doing? I got some hilarious news for you. This motherfucker, and then like a picture of you pops up, he's dead.
And then show a picture of my obituary.
But like, it's clear, like, I get like a marker font. So it just looks like I wrote it in a marker. But like, I just have like, I get like mascara. And then like have it drip down my cheeks, like, yeah guys.
and then like you like at the end like legitimately give the news like, yeah, but on a real note, he actually did die.
Yeah, it's happened, boys.
This is a dark day for Toxic Rain TV. as he is in the ground right now, so it's very dark.
What the fuck, man? I don't know if I'd say that. In that case,
I want you to.
Since you make comedy videos and you want me to do a comedic thing, since I make analytical videos, I want you to dissect and theorize my death. Like, it's like I get, like, say I die from like a heart attack. He's like, he has been, maybe guys, he's been poisoned. And then it just goes to this long spiel about like just total theorize everything. Like,
I will do that for
that
you.
would be the. I'm not gonna lie. I would laugh really from beyond the grave. I would laugh really hard.
I'll just edit the video and then it's finished, and then after it's done exporting and uploading, like it just starts playing in the background, and I just hear a ha 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 ha.
The fuck? Why would I laugh?
I don't know.
Is that my ghost laughing at you? Oh, because
yes.
It's funny. Okay. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, gamer. I don't know.
But before we end this podcast, I want to tell the story. It's a little bit of a ghost story.
Okay, well, hold on. Can I ask one more question before you get to your story? If you were a ghost, what would you? Where would you haunt?
Huh?
If you were a ghost and you had to pick one place to haunt for the rest of eternity, where would you haunt? I already know my place.
Probably the high school boys' bathroom.
No. Boys' locker room.
No, bathroom.
Oh, damn.
I'd be like, stop drooling.
Oh, look, you're drawing a penis. How original.
I did that in my prime.
Is that what? Okay, but for real, what would be your serious answer?
That's my legit answer.
Okay. Well, then, you're dumb.
You have a small penis.
It's this dude with like 16-inch dick. No. In that case,
Mine was bigger.
If you're gonna do that, it's gonna be a middle school bathroom.
No. My ghost will catch a case.
Also, you're dumb though because the Playboy Mansion exists.
Yeah, but I don't fucking care.
Wow.
Give me the Brazzers Mansion, then I might think about it.
Does that exist?
I don't know.
Time for a Google.
But, okay, while you're Googling that...
I'll be right back, by the way. Okay.
I want to tell a little bit of a ghost story. Alright.
I'm gonna try my...
So...
I'm making sure that my phone isn't, has no noise, so that a video doesn't start playing. Just like, oh shit.
So... I don't remember what year this was, but I was sitting on the computer late at night, probably around 2 in the morning. This was before I had my own computer, so the computer was downstairs. And I was watching some YouTube videos. I think at the time I was really into drawing videos, so I think I was watching those. And then all of a sudden, while I'm watching this video, I just hear like a whisper in my ear, "Hello," that says my name. And
also, side note, I think it does exist. I think there's I don't know. Anyways, continue.
And then I look over, and there was no one there.
It just said your name?
Yeah. And then I freak the fuck out. And I go upstairs to tell my mom, like, yo, this bitch is haunted.
I hope that's how you phrase it.
I don't remember how I worded it, but to this day, I believe that was my grandma.
Damn. Was it, like, which one?
The one that died in 2010.
The 7-year-old one. Your 7-year-old grandma.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I have more ghost stories that I could tell, but that can be a future podcast.
Ooh, the paranormal. I have none. So it would be all you, baby. That would be a Brandon-centric episode. So, when did that happen?
I don't remember the year. I think it was maybe 2014.
Okay. Well, damn, dude.
Maybe
Are
2013.
you sure it's not the voices in your head?
I didn't have those at the time.
At the time. Okay. They hadn't manifested in my head yet, dude.
I have a fucking case of ringworm.
Yeah, shut up, Charlie.
Or earworm.
Yeah. What?
Is it earworm or ringworm? I don't remember.
Ringworms are different because I know I know ringworm is an actual thing, and I don't know what it means or what it is. I know it's like an animal. Earworm is what you're thinking of, but what is a ringworm? I'm gonna make you learn, dude. Ringworm is a common fungal skin infection.
I have a bad case of ringworm.
It's like, yeah, it's like dots on your skin.
I don't know. But I think this is a good time to end the podcast.
Yeah, because those were pretty gross fucking images I just looked at.
Do you have any closing statements?
If you're thinking about dying, don't. Just
if that's all you get out of this podcast, I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. Just outlive us all, man.
Be a centenarian.
Tell everybody at your 200-year-old birthday about us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so don't forget to check out our social medias. I am at Toxic Green TV.
I'm at DJ on the computer.
And don't forget to check out our channels in the description below, as long as English. And also, subscribe to the podcast. You can probably listen on Spotify
I don't know.
At this point.
We haven't figured that out yet. But if we have, then oh shit.
So, am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Twitters, and have a nice day.
Yeah, I think I said those.
Well, then that's it, bro.
All right.
Okay.
See you next week.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.